I'm going to give you a couple more practical, I'll use the word tips when we're talking about direction in our lives. This, God, where are you leading here? I have this nagging thing that's been going on in my life, and it's just become trouble to me. And as I have said, you need to identify exactly what the trouble is. What is it that's causing this nagging thing that's going on in your life that's causing you so much discomfort and pain? And so you have to just sit down and reason it out and come to the conclusion. This is what's troubling me. And then as you begin to look around, okay, God, help me to be able to deal with this. And God begins to show you ways and possibilities to be able to find resolution to trouble or tribulation. But here are some things of caution. First of all, as I've made this comment, that I'd heard this somewhere before, it says that the peace of God is your referee. If you don't have a peace about what it is, then you should not follow through. Because if it's God, it can happen, and it will happen without any type of manipulation. You don't have to manipulate it if it's God. If it's God, it will flow. There will just be a flow to it, and then you'll just sit back later and just be absolutely astounded and amazed at how God did what he did. And so faith and trusting God is allowing God to do it, and God to do it in his way and in his time. And then trusting. And sometimes it requires us just to be patient. Says, God, I don't necessarily understand why this is taking so long, but I believe that you're in control of this. So I'm just going to just trust you, and I'm just going to walk in this. So if it's God, there should not be any manipulation in it. We just let it flow and let God do what God's going to do. And then it should not put you in some type of debt. I'm very opposed to debt. And so if you're saying, well, Pastor King, that's not reality. You can't go through this life without borrowing a bunch of money. And I'm just going to tell you that my wife and I have proven that to be a wrong statement. Because God spoke to us, I can't even remember how many years it's been now, 20, 25 years ago, we had gotten ourselves in a lot of debt. And it became a tremendous burden. And I was just totally distraught by it. And God just convicted me about it. And so we did something that my wife suggested. And when I tell you this, you're going to say, well, that was somebody else's plan. You'll recognize it. She said, why don't we just take our smallest debt and pay it off? And then after we've paid that off, we'll use that money to put toward the next one. And like I said, if only we had written a book about it. That's what we did. And over a process of time, we paid off all of our debts, and we said we will not go back again. So since that time, I've opened up businesses and did different things, and we've been in the ministry all these years, and we just said, no, we're not going to borrow money. Just not going to do it. Because if God's in it, God will supply the need. And we've just found this to be true. So I'm just telling you, if it's God, you don't have to manipulate it. You just have to be patient and trust and let faith arise, and you'll just be amazed at what God can do. This is Pastor Jack King with the gospel on the radio broadcast.